Hello you guys, and welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for watching. So for today's video, I thought it would be really fun to share with you what is on my spring perfume tray. Everything here is super affordable. The most expensive thing that I have is $35, so if that's something you're interested in, then please keep watching. So the first perfume I'm going to be talking about is Juicy Couture Bodacious, and I have the EDT version, and if you watched my collective haul, you'll see that I found this at DD's Discounts, and this was actually my most expensive perfume. This one was $35. So if you've ever tried the original Viva La Juicy, this has a lot of that same DNA, but this is a little bit more floral, a little bit more coconutty, and this also has pear and melon, so it's kind of like a fruity, sweet floral, just like the original Juicy Couture, but with the added coconut. I will say though that this version of Juicy Couture Bodacious is the EDT, so it's going to be a lot lighter. It's still not weak, like I can still smell it on myself when I'm wearing it, like when I'm out and about I can still smell myself, but definitely not as strong as the original Juicy Couture EDP. I love how floral and fruity this is, but at the same time, I think that it would also be a great summer scent because of that coconut. So for that reason, I'm using it for springtime just because it's very floral, very fruity, but also I think that in the summertime it would also be appropriate as well. It's fairly new to my collection, so I want to keep wearing it a little bit more. If you are a coconut lover and you love the Viva La Juicy line, I would highly recommend Viva La Juicy Bodacious. I think all their flankers are really great. This one isn't my favorite. I'm really enjoying it, but as of right now, I would say my favorite is Viva La Juicy Gold Couture. Okay, so the next perfume that I wanted to share with you guys is Britney Spears Fantasy Sheer. If you've ever tried the original Fantasy, this is extremely similar. I would say that the only difference between Fantasy Sheer and the original Fantasy is that this one is a little bit more citrusy and a little bit more aquatic. This one is really beautiful, and again, it's sheer. This is an EDT, so it's going to be a lot lighter than the EDP version of Fantasy. And just to give you guys more of an idea of what this smells like, I'm going to share the notes with you. So the top notes are citrus water, lychee, and quince. Its middle notes are water lily and lily of the valley, and its base notes are cupcake, white musk, iris, and woodsy notes. This one is really beautiful, it's youthful, it's girly, and for some reason I find myself reaching for Fantasy Sheer more than I do the original Fantasy. Even though it's the sheer version, it's still really just a really nice everyday scent. And I also want to mention that this perfume is super affordable. I actually found this in a 3.4 ounce bottle at Burlington Coat Factory for $20, and I've also seen this several times at Ross for the same price. They're usually about $20 for a 3.4 fluid ounce bottle. So this next one I've been a little bit obsessed with. This one really grew on me. If you watched my collective haul, I shared this perfume with you guys. I got it from Walmart for $26, and when I first shared that video with you guys, I really wasn't sure about this perfume, but this has really grown on me, and it is so lovely. I think it is so unique, and if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it, and that is Intimate Fantasy by Britney Spears. I think the bottle is so beautiful. It's a 10 out of 10. I love that it's white and kind of has like rose gold gems all over it. And the reason that I actually got this perfume was because when I looked at the fragrance notes, I saw that it had lemon and brown sugar, and right away I knew that I was gonna love that. People describe this as sort of like a lemon cookie scent. So I think that's why initially I didn't like this, just because that description just really threw me off when I smelled this perfume. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the fragrance notes with you guys just so I can kind of like describe this perfume a little bit better. So its top notes are lychee, Italian lemon, and violet leaf. Its middle notes are brown sugar, ozonic notes, jasmine, and lily of the valley. And its base notes are vanilla, white musk, heliotrope, and benzoin. So like I said, this had me at lemon and brown sugar, and to my nose, it smells nothing like brown sugar or lemon. To me, this is a very like powdery and, like the name says, intimate skin scent. I sort of get like a baby powder mixed with clean laundry, and I feel like if I heard someone say that description, that wouldn't make me run out and buy this perfume. But there's just something so special and so beautiful about this. It's just very like, I just imagine like a really gentle, feminine, girly person wearing this. It's sweet but not too sweet. It just smells very clean, very skin-like, and again like baby powder. I also detect some vanilla in this, and it's not super sweet of a vanilla. It's kind of just like an airy, powdery vanilla clean scent. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it, and I find myself reaching for this a lot. So the next one that I have on my spring perfume tray is a Victoria's Secret scent, and I feel like Victoria's Secret does spring scents really well. Like a lot of the times their perfumes tend to be very sexy, very floral, and this is no exception. This is XO by Victoria. So I got XO Victoria during semi-annual sale maybe about 3 months ago, and this is a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, and I want to say I paid around $16 for it. So that's the amazing thing about Victoria's Secret, is that even though they tend to be on the pricey side, if you wait for sales, you can get their perfumes for a pretty good price, and there's something very luxurious about Victoria's Secret. So I thought that XO Victoria would be really appropriate for springtime just because it's so floral, it's so watery. And let's get into the top notes just so I can describe this one a little bit better. So its top notes are apple and citrus, its middle notes are rose and orchid, and its base notes are ivy and woodsy notes. XO Victoria is absolutely gorgeous. It's floral, it's slightly sweet but not too sweet. It's mostly floral, and I would say aquatic. It smells really like dewy, if that makes sense. It's just a really beautiful springtime scent, and I'm super excited to wear it. Even though XO Victoria has rose in it, it's not an overwhelming rose. I tend to really not like roses. They just really dominate fragrances most of the time, and in this case the rose is very well blended. It just kind of smells like other florals, but not too rose heavy, if that makes sense. Like you can really smell the ivy, you can really smell the orchid, and on top of that it's a little bit citrusy, so just combined it's absolutely gorgeous. So up next I have another Victoria's Secret perfume, and this is the perfume for you if you are not a floral kind of girl. This next one is really fun, really fruity, and kind of sweet, and that is Oh So Sexy. And the name for me is a little bit strange just because I don't find this perfume to really be all that sexy. I think this is more fun, and I honestly think that even a really young girl could wear this. So yeah, I just don't think the name Oh So Sexy is fitting, but it's still a really great perfume. So let's get into the fragrance notes for Oh So Sexy. Its top notes are fruits, its middle notes are apple, and its base notes are whipped cream and vanilla, and it's a very simple scent. And I have to agree with all the fragrance notes. It literally smells just like that. To me, this almost smells like a really sweet apple juice. I actually bought Oh So Sexy at the same time that I bought XO Victoria. They were both the same price. They were both under $17. I think it was like $16 and some change. And this one is also a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, so you get a decent amount of product and super affordable. So I'm pretty sure that XO Victoria is still on the sale area on the Victoria's Secret website, and I know Oh So Sexy ended up selling out fairly quickly, but the nice thing is that the past like 3 years of semi-annual sale, I want to say, I keep seeing Oh So Sexy reappear. So if you missed out on it this year, I'm sure this is just going to keep coming back. It's just one of those scents that everybody seems to love and buy up, so I'm pretty sure they're going to keep bringing it back. This is just a simple, fruity, fun scent, and if you like apples, you will really like Oh So Sexy. Okay, so this next one is a super popular celebrity fragrance, and if you watched my last video, you will know that I was on the fence about keeping it. This was a blind buy for me at Ross, and it is Ariana Grande, Thank You Next. And the reason I was unsure if I wanted to keep Ariana Grande Thank You Next is because I already own Candy Hearts by Victoria's Secret. It's a body mist, and they are so similar that I thought it was kind of pointless to own both. But lately I've noticed I have been reaching for this, and I like it enough to keep it. Even though they're similar, Ariana Grande Thank You Next is very strong and just projects so much better. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the Victoria's Secret body mist. Like, that one I think is honestly really impressive and really strong for a body mist, but I figured why not have this in my collection. This perfume actually really makes me want to try other Ariana Grande fragrances. I already have Ari and Cloud, and this is my third Ariana Grande scent. And yeah, like I said, I like this so much that now I am really curious about her scents just because they're all so good. So ordinarily, I would probably consider this to be a summer scent, but because it's so new, I want to use it up and test it out a little bit more. Because it's new, I want to continue to use it. So let's get into the fragrance notes. Its top notes are raspberry and pear, its middle notes are coconut and pink rose, and its base notes are macaroons and musk. So with this scent, a lot of people say that it smells like pickles, and thankfully I really don't get pickles, but I can kind of see why people say that. And I think the reason they say it smells like pickles is because this perfume has sort of a sour tartness to it, but thankfully the way my nose picks it up, it's more of like a fruity tartness. To me, this smells like passion fruit. It smells tropical, and that's the reason why I said this is more of like a summer scent, just because it has sort of like a light floral tropical vibe to it. For some reason, the combination of all the fruits together, it's raspberry, pear, and coconut. To me, it doesn't smell like raspberry, pear, or coconut. It smells like passion fruit. This is also very sweet, very candy-like, and I'm super excited to keep using this. So this next one is very new to my collection. I've only had this for maybe about a week or so, and that is Naked Fantasy by Britney Spears. So as you can tell, I've been a little bit obsessed with Britney Spears perfumes, but when I saw this in Ross, I knew I had to pick it up just because I had seen it once before, passed on it, never saw it again, and when I saw it recently, I'm like, okay, here's my chance to try it out. And when I was in the store, I was actually on Fragrantica, and I saw that the first perfume that this was compared to was actually this one. It was Intimate Fantasy. So when I saw that these two had similarities, I knew that I wanted to try it out. So let's get into the notes. Its top notes are Applejack and Blackcurrant, its middle notes are Peach, Osmanthus, and Water Lily, and its base notes are Cupcake, Vanilla, Apricot, and Musk. So like I said, this is very new. I've only worn it maybe 3 times so far, and so far I have to agree it is so similar to Intimate Fantasy, and I almost think that having both of them was just a little bit unnecessary. But like I said, I've only worn Naked Fantasy a few times, so I'm still really trying to give it a chance. Britney's perfumes tend to be on the sheer side, and it just takes a while to really get your nose to adjust to the fragrance, but I can really smell the peach and apricot in this one. I would say it's basically identical to Intimate Fantasy, with the exception that this has the added peach and apricot, but it's very, very subtle. As of right now, though, I would say that if you had to choose between Intimate Fantasy and Naked Fantasy, I would definitely go for the white one, Intimate Fantasy. To me, it's just way more strong, way more unique, and I just love that baby powder aspect to it. Having Fantasy Naked in my collection is almost a little bit redundant, but like I said, I love Intimate Fantasy so much, and they're so similar that I know that I will use them both up. They're just that amazing. And like I said, they're pretty light scents, so I really think it's going to be super easy to go through a full 3.4 ounce bottle. So this next one is also a celebrity fragrance, and it has been a love for me for probably about 10 years now, and that is Fancy Love by Jessica Simpson. And I feel like this perfume is really underrated. I always hear people talking about Fancy, but not so much Fancy Love, and lately I've been really enjoying Fancy Love a little bit more than the original Fancy. I recently got the original Jessica Simpson Fancy at Ross, and it was a giant bottle. It was a 3.4 ounce bottle for $20, so I felt like I scored big time. But when I went home and tested it out, they really changed the formula on that one. So that was really disappointing. I was used to how the original Fancy smelled, and For that reason, I would say that now Fancy Love is my all-time favorite. Like, they were always both so good. I was always kind of like on the fence on which one was my favorite. Fancy was just a little bit more gourmand, and Fancy Love is a little bit more springtime. But thankfully, I found this 1-ounce bottle at Ross for $15, and the formula hasn't changed. It smells exactly like how I remember it. So for that reason, I think that's why Fancy Love is now my absolute favorite Jessica Simpson scent. If you guys ever come across Jessica Simpson Fancy at Ross or a discount store, I think one of the indicators to know that if you have the old formula versus the new formula of Fancy is that the liquid is brown in the like more caramely gourmand version of it, and the version that I ended up getting that I didn't like as much, it was way more floral heavy and not sweet. The liquid was almost clear. So the original Yummy Fancy was really brown, really dark in color. Like the bottle was actually like a clear bottle and you can see through into the liquid, and the original one was brown. The one that I got again was just clear, and it wasn't as special as I remember it, but thankfully Fancy Love is beautiful and it's exactly how I remember it smelling from years and years ago. Okay, so that's the end of the rant about Fancy. So now let's get into the top notes for Fancy Love. So its top notes are peach blossom, champagne, bergamot. Its middle notes are frangipani, jasmine, peony, lotus, and rose. And its base notes are amber, musk, woodsy notes, and patchouli. So whenever I think of amber or patchouli in fragrances, in my mind it's going to be a very heavy, very wintry, very thick scent, and that is not what Fancy Love is. Fancy Love is a beautiful champagne-y springtime scent. So on Fragrantica, Fancy Love, the first perfume that it's actually compared to is Burberry Women. I will put a picture right here so you can see, and I actually own this fragrance. And it's funny because I can actually see the similarities and see why they're compared to each other, but for me the Burberry one is more winter, and this is like the springtime younger sister of that fragrance. So if you like that Burberry scent, which I adore it, you will definitely like Fancy Love, even though they're very different. This one is not as thick as the Burberry one. The Burberry one, like I said, I would wear that one in the dead of winter just because of that amber. That is a very heavy, thick amber, and the amber in Fancy Love is there. It's subtle, it's sexy. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting that that's the first perfume that it's compared to. So I'm not a huge floral lover. I hate rose in most scents, and this actually has rose. And just in general, I'm not a huge floral person. Like, if a floral is in my scent, it kind of has to be in the background. And for whatever reason, this is floral heavy, but it's mixed so beautifully. Like the amber, the woodsiness to this, the champagne, the bergamot, it just screams springtime. Whenever I wear this perfume, for some reason, I think of kind of like you are having brunch and you're having mimosas and you're just a really put together, clean, lovely girl. I feel like I can't express how much I absolutely adore Fancy Love. Even though on my perfume tray I have some really amazing springtime scents, I would probably recommend so far that this is the one that you should try out of all of them. And again, don't be scared by the patchouli or the amber. It's done in a very clean, light springtime way. Okay, so this next one is another celebrity fragrance, and if you watched my last haul, you would know what this is, and that is Fantasy by Britney Spears. And the reason that I have this on my spring perfume tray is because I just got it and I really like to test out all of my new perfumes and get to know them. And like I said, this is super similar to Fantasy Sheer. The differences that I would say in this Fantasy is that it's very kiwi heavy, where this one isn't. I don't want to get into the fragrance notes of Fantasy too much, just because we've all known this scent. I feel like we've all smelled it. It's very cupcakey, very girly. It's in the same kind of like family as Viva La Juicy, where it's just very youthful, very fun, kind of fresh. But yeah, so far I've been really enjoying it. Anytime I'm like in a girly kind of mood, I reach for Fantasy. Alright, you guys, so I promise this is the last Britney Spears perfume. I am so sorry that I have so many Britney perfumes on my spring tray, but it's just because her perfumes are so amazing. And that is Curious by Britney Spears. And I know this has been around for a really long time, but I actually just got around to trying it maybe 5 months ago. And that is kind of what started this whole Britney Spears perfume obsession for me. I was surprised at how much I loved Britney Spears Curious. So let's get into the notes for Britney Spears Curious. Its top notes are magnolia, pear, and lotus. Its middle notes are jasmine, tuberose, and cyclamen. And its base notes are musk, vanilla, white woods, and sandalwood. To be honest, I didn't really know that I was into aquatic scents until I tried this one. It's just very like aquatic and watery. I think the lotus really makes it sort of watery, and you can really smell the magnolia in this. I also didn't know that I liked magnolia until I got exposed to this scent. Yeah, I think all the notes combined just make it so delicious and clean. Like the pear in this too, I think it kind of gives it sort of a fruity element, but it doesn't take away from how fresh and aquatic it is. It's slightly fruity, it's a little bit sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's still very musky, and you smell the vanilla, but it's not in like a gourmand way. It's more in like a fresh, clean, out of the shower kind of way. To me, Curious is a very youthful scent. For some reason, whenever I wear this scent, the kind of person that I envision wearing this is like a college girl. I would say she's between like 18 and 22, and she's got her hair in a slick back bun. She's very responsible. She cares about her schoolwork. She's very clean and put together, and yeah, that's just kind of the person that I can picture wearing this. Just like a really put together young responsible girl. I know the description sounds kind of weird and kind of specific, but that's just really what I picture. I don't know if you guys do that whenever you smell a certain perfume. It kind of just like reminds you of someone that would wear it. So again, it's like youthful, it's clean, and yeah, it's just a really nice clean girl would wear this perfume. And this perfume was super affordable. I found it at DD's Discounts for $10 for a 1-ounce bottle, but I see it all the time for $20 for a 3.3 fluid ounce bottle. So I have a feeling that when I run out, I'm gonna buy another one. This is just, as of right now, something I forever want to have in my collection. Even though it's a cheapie, it's a really, really good cheapie. So again, I love affordable fragrances, so this next one's another celebrity one. I don't know why, but whenever I'm out shopping at discount stores like Ross or Marshall's, I absolutely love celebrity fragrances. Like, I don't know why I gravitate towards them. I don't know, I guess because they're so affordable, and they're just, you never know what you're gonna get. You can get something really amazing, or you can just get something that's okay. And this next one is J Lust by Jennifer Lopez. So I kind of talked about this in one of my videos. I blind bought this, and in that video I said it was just okay, and it kind of reminded me of like a body mist. And since then I've kind of changed my mind. For some reason I really find myself gravitating towards this fragrance, and I think it's just so creamy, and it has strawberry in it. And yeah, I don't know. I think that now that I've tried J Lust, I really want to try more of her fragrances. I've tried Glow by JLo, and that was a long time ago that I tried that one, and I remember just being very underwhelmed by it. But now that I've tried J Lust, I kind of want to try more of her perfumes. As of right now, besides J Lust, I have Miami Glow by JLo, and that one again underwhelmed me. So maybe it's just her whole like glow line just really isn't my cup of tea. But J Lust is beautiful, and I find myself reaching for it a lot more than I really thought that I would. Okay, so let's get into the fragrance notes for J Lust. Its top notes are strawberry, apple blossom, and mandarin orange. Its middle notes are vanilla orchid, white peach, and jasmine. And its base notes are tonka bean, Toulouse balsam, and musk. And like I said, this is very creamy, like kind of think of a sort of whipped cream. And it also has strawberry, so I think that strawberry just really makes it so absolutely lovely. The strawberry is not really strong. It's not like a sweet strawberry. It's more of like a watery strawberry. And this is also a little bit citrusy. I think that orange and white peach just really brighten this perfume up, and yeah, just everything combined. It's like a little bit of everything. It's creamy, it's floral, it's a little bit fruity. And this one to me is a little bit more grown up. Like I said, this one is kind of like in the 18-year-old range, and in this one I can really see like someone that's maybe like 26 and up really liking this one. This is just a little bit more floral heavy, but it's still blended really well. It's not like overpowering and overwhelming with floral. It's just creamy, fruity floral, and it's really beautiful and really appropriate for the springtime. And I also want to mention that I got a 1 ounce bottle of this for $12.99. So again, it was super affordable. So this next one is another Victoria's Secret scent, and I actually have this in a mini. I think it's like in a 0.25 ounce bottle, and that is Victoria's Secret Tease. This one is so good, guys. If you've never smelled teas, I highly recommend going in Victoria's Secret and testing it out. This is so beautiful, and I used to get so many compliments when I used to wear this to work. It is just so springtime. This honestly I think could be really great for the summertime too. But let's get into the fragrance notes for this one. So its top notes are pear, lychee, red apple, and mandarin orange. Its middle notes are gardenia, magnolia, jasmine, freesia, and sweet pea. And its base notes are black vanilla, benzoin, chocolate, amber, sandalwood, and musk. So I'm really surprised that this has chocolate. I was really not expecting that. Like it's pretty sweet. It's fruity and sweet, but that chocolate just kind of throws me off. My nose doesn't really pick up on it, so I don't want you guys to think that this is going to be a really heavy chocolatey scent, because it's not. I wouldn't describe teas as a gourmand at all. That's why I kind of want you guys to get chocolate out of your head. Teas is just a floral, fruity, sweet scent, and it's absolutely incredible. Like I said, I used to get compliments on it all the time, and even though it sounds pretty basic, it is really beautiful and kind of like a crowd pleaser kind of scent. Like I can't really picture too many people hating this one. And I think because it has magnolia and sweet pea, that's why I really like it. But thankfully, Tease is one of those scents that you can get all year round. So like I said, I highly recommend just going in Victoria's Secret and testing this one out. I also really adore Love by Victoria's Secret, but right now I only have a rollerball, and yeah, I didn't think it would go on my perfume tray video very well, but Tease and Love are probably one of my all-time favorite Victoria's Secret scents ever. Right now I'm leaning more towards Tease, but like I said, they're both so good, and I highly recommend just testing it out for yourself. And what I love about Victoria's Secret is there's always coupons, there's always sales, so you could always get Tease for a really affordable price point. Okay, so this last perfume is also a celebrity fragrance, and if you saw my last video, you will probably guess what this is, and that is Tempting Paradise by Sofia Vergara. And I'm going to be completely honest, this is more of like a summertime scent, but because it's so new, I just want to keep testing it out. But let's get into the notes. Its top notes are tropical fruits, clementine, and magnolia. Its middle notes are guava blossom, coconut milk, and peony, and its base notes are musk, sandalwood, and benzoin. I've only worn Tempting Paradise once, and so far I like it. It's not a love, but it's a like, and it's very tropical and fresh, and to me, out of all the scents that I have on this perfume tray, this one is probably the most grown up and mature. Not that it's like for older women by any means or anything like that. It's just there's a sophistication to it. I think Sofia Vergara does her perfumes really well. So just kind of picture like someone in their 30s that has their life together and is very put together. But like I said, I have to wear Tempting Paradise a little bit more, so I'm super excited to get some use out of it. And you know, I tend to reach for what is on my perfume tray the absolute most, so I'm excited to get to know this fragrance a little bit more. Alright you guys, so that is everything that is going to be on my spring perfume tray. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video gave you ideas or inspiration on what to put on your perfume tray. And if you guys have any spring favorites, please let me know. And again, thank you so much for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next one.